We're back on the Vicky Show. If Tiny gone, Tiny, I'm still here, Bella. Shout out to DC. Now, Tiny.
Hold on, before we go to that,
Oh, okay.
I have a question. Who in the house of Con, your house, that you just like, they just feel it too much for you? Or they just like, it's not all that for them? Like, they in your house, you love them down, but it's just not all of that for them to be feeling it. Like, they just grand prize, grand ruler.
Yeah, she probably goes.
I can answer that, and then I can't, because at the same, because a lot of us have the attitude, and
That confident attitude.
very confident, and that's the attitude that I think everybody should have, and a lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
That attitude kind of gives you your drive to do your thing, but not everybody needs that attitude. I can't say names because it's straight my family, but
I was about to say that.
but if you know your thing not doing it, and you know it's not doing it, don't be that confident.
So is Sonic Con back in the house?
I don't even know.
You don't even know?
Mm-mm.
Do you see a family come back to the house?
Mm-mm.
You don't see a family come back to the house. Okay.
I believe she.
And it's not that I don't see Sonic, because Sonic set me before, and Sonic has set a lot of people. Sonic has a name, and Sonic does his thing, but at the same time, I see. I'm happy with the house that I have.
I want to ask you though, do you kind of be like, used to have to, being G, y'all always fighting, y'all known for like fighting, jumping, and all that. How do you feel about that?
Me, I'm not.
Like, do you get involved in the drama with the house of calm when it comes to stuff like that, or you stay out of that?
Yeah and no. If it's not my business, I stay out of it. But if I'm out with my girls, and my girls get into something, then I'm getting into something. But at the same time, we're honestly not like that. I think cons are like the most friendly. I think people bring conflict to cons just to see that side.
I have to really say, when I honestly shared with a couple of cons, it was like, it cooked a big. It was a nice aura. Mm-hmm. I really had a nice, it was a nice aura. So I can really say that too. I had a nice aura with them.
I don't think I really don't see a lot of drama with cons.
Now I want to ask you too. I know you just con is famous, but if you wasn't a con, what other house did you see yourself in? And please, honey, answer the question. I'm just saying, if you wasn't, you got kicked out, or you got a farther position for another position for something else. Where would you want to go if you had the opportunity?
I'm gonna reverse the question, because if I got put out, that's the end of my ballroom career. I can say that now, because
a lot of girls said that and been in something next.
But I'm gonna change that. If I never joined con,
where you would have went then?
I would have went to Ebony.
But with Cassandra and those girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not even for them. I see the family like link is slightly the same, and I can
agree with that.
I just would have went with Ebony.
I was gonna be at Ebony at one point back in the day. I didn't feel I was Ebony. I just didn't feel the being genius that I was like. It's always Ebony in some state, you know. In every state. Now, Tiny, I want to jump back into I want to get into like more with the image type thing. Now, Tiny, how do you, with the whole image type of thing, how do you feel about when people say people don't have the right image for this house, or how do you feel about when people say stuff like that?
Actually, that makes me feel crazy, because a lot of times, like, I'm being judged, and that's go back to what the whole ballroom scene is being judged by somebody else, but you can't tell somebody that they don't have an image for a house when the house image really ain't all that.
It ain't doing it.
Just not doing it. Because honestly, in every house, there's some tied, just
knots.
Wrong knots. Every single house, no matter which house it is.
No matter what house it is. Now, do you think the ballroom scene is very political? A lot of people say that too. Like, it's, people sleep with judges, people be sleeping with, commentators, people be trying to get like, do you believe in stuff like that be going on? This is a lot of nasty, raunchy shit that be going on.
I do, but at the same time, I think I can't really say the whole ballroom scene is political, because no judges panel is the same at every ball. So for someone to scream every time they walk, it was shade or it was politics, it's not right, because the panel changes every time. Everybody sees eye to eye differently, but some instances it is very political, and then some is just you was hired.
Now, before we let you go, Tiny Con, I need to ask you, why was you at that five? Did you work the $5,000?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel about? I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about that? How did you feel about that? That was a big night for female figures. How did you feel? You got sat down by somebody or?
No, I got chopped.
Okay, now how did you feel about that night?
It was actually, the night itself was long and draining. The actual category.
By the way, who chopped you?
Jason Escala at the time. Face Jason.
Okay.
I need to get. Honest, if you get a chance to see the clip, I didn't get a chance to do nothing. I'm not sure why he chopped me or what he chopped me for, but I didn't even get the dip.
Oh, you just came out.
I was the very first person to come out for the 5,000, and Kelly was still chanting, and I was at the back, and I was doing hand performance. I started catwalking. By the time I started spinning,
he chops. Just one chop.
One chop.
Now, how did you feel about Ginger winning that? Do you think it was deserved for her, or how did you feel about that whole night?
Deserve out of all the people that walked, no, I couldn't see myself seeing Ginger being the last person out of all the people that walked. Out of every battle Ginger was in, Ginger did her shit.
I was about to say that she did annihilate though.
Yeah, she did her shit for every single battle.
I think the Christina thing could have been anyone.
It could have. I feel like everybody would be like, if Christina won, it would be like, oh, she's an icon. They just gave it to her. If Ginger won, oh, Christina should have won it.
And it was because just like you, a real between. I feel like Ginger is like a you. She's a real between track. She get out and she you know. So shout out to Ginger. That's my personal brother. Shout out to sister. Shout out to her. And do you have any shout outs you want to give? Shout outs and shout outs. What shout outs? What Tiny Con want to shout out?
Shout out my sis, Lord Tony Cohen, Lord James. Shout out to Midwest Mother Alana Cohen.
Alana.
My daughter and best friend, Pinky Ebony. Lots of shout outs, but
press for time.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming by, Tiny, and really good to meet you. And you know, all new shows, all new topics, all new drama, breaking news, updates. So get ready.
Interviews,
everything. We will be back on the Vicky Show.
Good night, y'all. Good night.